Hello everyone. I don't know why I'm making this video exactly, but I like cat genetics, so I just needed something to do. Today we're gonna be looking at solid colors, specifically the O, B, and D loci. Hopefully you've had a refresher on some genetic terms. I'll try to give basic definitions throughout the video, but I just recommend have some background knowledge first. Alright, so first of all, in most animal genetics, like almost all of them, there's only two main types of melanin, eumelanin and pheomelanin. Eumelanin gives black, brown, and gray coloration, and pheomelanin gives red, orange, and yellow coloration. These can affect like skin, fur, feathers even. Normally, pheomelanin tends to be more recessive, but not always, like in cats we're about to see here. So in cats, locus O, or the orange locus, is dominant. However, it is also a sex-linked gene. This means that the orange gene is linked to the X chromosome, and in mammals, males have XY and females have XX. So males need one copy, and females need two copies to be orange, because if females only get one, then the other X doesn't have a copy of the orange gene, meaning they will become a tortoiseshell instead. In males, orange is dominant, meaning like basically if a male's genotype has to decide between being an orange cat and being a black cat, the cat will be orange because little o is recessive to big O. And then female orange cats are also slightly rarer than males because they need to inherit two copies in order to be completely orange instead of just tortoiseshells. Here's some examples. So if a male orange cat and a female non-orange cat have offspring, then all of the female offspring will be tortoiseshells and all of the male offspring will be black, because they can only inherit one gene from their mom, because they need to still, if they're male, then they can't inherit two copies of the gene. Here's another example of it has similar results. However, all the male cats would be orange instead of black. So basically, male cats cannot get orange genes from their father. They can only inherit them from the X chromosome of their mom. Here's another example here. This is a tortoiseshell female and orange male. This would result in like 50% female offspring being orange, 50% being tortoiseshell, and then 50% males being orange and 50% males being black. The next locus is the brown locus, or locus B. This one is not sex-linked, meaning all of them have two copies from each parent, no matter if they're male or female. The dominance order for this locus is big B, little b, and then B1. So big B is black, little b is chocolate, and then B1 is cinnamon. So for example, a black cat can have two copies of black, one copy of black, and be carrying chocolate or cinnamon. And they still appear black. There's no like co-dominance like in tortoiseshells. Chocolate cats can either be homozygous, meaning they have two copies of one gene for chocolate, or be heterozygous and carrying cinnamon. If they're heterozygous for black, meaning they're like have one copy of black and one copy of chocolate, then they'd just be black, because black is dominant, so it's the only one that appears. And then cinnamon would need to be always homozygous for cinnamon, no matter what, because everything else is dominant to the cinnamon coloration in this locus. And the B locus only affects eumelanin, meaning it only affects like black, brown, gray coloration, and not like orange and red stuff. So tortoiseshells can have chocolate instead of black, so they'd be like chocolate and orange, or cinnamon and orange instead of black and orange. Also, chocolate and cinnamon coloration is like very rare, so you probably won't run into a cat that's either of these colors very often. Here's some examples. Like if a black cat carrying chocolate and a homozygous chocolate cat have offspring, half will be black carrying chocolate and the other half will be homozygous for chocolate. Here we have two black cats that are both carrying chocolate. Even if neither of them are displaying chocolate, there's still a chance of them having a chocolate offspring. Here we have the most diverse example probably is a black cat, chocolate cat, both carrying cinnamon. There's 25% chance of having cinnamon offspring, 25% chance of having chocolate carrying cinnamon, and then 50% of having black offspring carrying either chocolate or cinnamon. Locus D, the dilution locus. This one's pretty interesting because it affects both eumelanin and pheomelanin, and the dominance order is non-dilute to dilute, meaning in order for a cat to be dilute, it needs to be homozygous for both recessive genes of dilute. Different colors dilute different things, so black dilutes to blue or gray, chocolate goes to lilac, cinnamon goes to fawn, and orange to cream. Over here we have some examples of what these cats look like. So here's like what a black cat would look like diluted. It gives a blue coloration. This is an orange cat diluted. It gives this cream coloration. It can also make the stripes appear almost invisible. As you can see, there's not many stripes on this cat. I'll talk more about tabbies and striping and all that in another video. Here's a dilute tortie, because it can in fact dilute both eumelanin and pheomelanin at the same time. So you won't find like a gray and orange tortoiseshell or a cream and black tortoiseshell. It'll always just be gray and cream or black and orange. Here are some examples of Punnett squares. So we have a non-dilute and a dilute cat. The non-dilute is carrying dilute. 50% offspring would be dilute, and 50% would be non-dilute carrying dilute. There's another example, basically just a non-dilute, homozygous, dilute, homozygous. All the offspring would be heterozygous for dilution. Here we have two non-dilutes carrying dilute. There's 25% chance of being dilute, 50% chance of being non-dilute carrying dilute, and 25% chance of being non-dilute homozygous. Here's a bit of a bonus round. We have locus DM, or the dilute modifier locus. This one is one you will basically never run into. However, I did find it very interesting. So it is also called caramelized. So like caramelized dilute is dominant to non-caramelized. However, it only affects cats that are already expressing like regular dilution. So if like a non-dilute cat has this gene, even if they have like two copies of the dominant, it won't show up. Here we have blue goes to caramel, lilac to taupe, fawn to fawn-based caramel, and cream to apricot. Apricot is mostly just a more saturated version of cream. And then here's an example, assuming all of these cats are dilute. You can see there that 50% would be caramelized. And the next video I'm hoping to discuss tabbies, specifically like the Goody gene and tabby loci.